this magnificent animal. So a lot of logistical challenges, but we arranged for it to be transported to the research field at the university down in Cornwall, and we buried it there about 5 years ago.
So what are you going to do with it now?
Well, we dug it back up again about a few months ago, and it's been bleaching and washing in the Cornish rain and sun, and so it should eventually be suitable for putting on display on the university campus. And we'll use it, of course, for teaching and research purposes for the students. But more than that, actually, I was very keen that it became something of a memorial, because these are such magnificent creatures. I didn't just want it to go to waste. And they're a big reminder of how much there is to do to conserve our seas. We've got these major international commitments, a global commitment to conserve about 30% of land and sea by 2030. And there's a long, long way to go. And even in UK waters, there is much that needs to be done for marine protected areas. And so my hope was that this whale, by putting it on display, not just to our students, but to others who rarely get to see animals like this, that it helps them understand about marine life and some of the magnificent creatures that are at threat.
What about the sort of frequency of strandings in that area? Is that something particularly to be concerned about?
Well, Cornwall gets more than its fair share of strandings, but that's also because Cornwall has a very long coastline, and it's exposed to much of the Atlantic seaboard. But most of those strandings are porpoises and dolphins, the smaller animals. But fin whales are an increasingly frequent sighting around our shores. There was a very large adult fin whale seen in September, and sadly a fin whale calf died on the beach yesterday in Cornwall. So these are becoming more frequently seen, at least partly because of the recovery of fin whale populations after the moratorium on whaling. And we have to remember that whaling was only stopped in the North Atlantic for fin whales in the late 80s. So it's really not very long ago, but the population's taken a long time to make a slow recovery. And we're starting to see more of these animals in our waters.
Robbie McDonald from the Office for Environmental Protection. Now, the Cambridge Dictionary has chosen its word of the year for 2025, and it is parasocial. It refers to the one-sided bond people feel with public figures that they've never met. The term was first used in the 1950s when sociologists noticed that viewers were forming emotional connections with television personalities. In the internet age, it comes to describe similar attachments to influencers, celebrities, and even AI chatbots. Stay with us.
Hello there. Let's take a look at the weather headlines across the globe, starting off in North America. We've seen a storm moving away from the eastern seaboard. It's clearing from the Labrador coast as we speak. Some showers moving out of the central plains towards Louisiana, falling as some sleet and snow just to the south of the Great Lakes. And still some heavy rain into parts of California, although that intense rain will start to ease as we move through the next few days. Fine and dry across Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula, down into Honduras, a few sharp showers through Costa Rica and Panama, and still some sharp showers perhaps across parts of Cuba and Jamaica over the next couple of days. Recent heavy rain impacting parts of southern Brazil, easing by Tuesday. A lot of fine and dry weather. We have seen weather warnings down to the southern tip of Chile, but the strong winds starting to ease a little by Tuesday afternoon. Recent heavy rainfall continues to sink its way south across southern Italy over into the Balkans. There could be some thundery activity here, and that will move down into Albania and mainland Greece. Behind it, drier but colder conditions, bitterly cold in Scandinavia. But on the whole, a few scattered showers, but largely quiet. Few scattered showers actually moving their way across the north coast of Africa, impacting parts of Morocco, Algeria and maybe Tunisia. Some heavy rain continues across parts of Mozambique and also some pretty intense showers into Madagascar as well, the eastern half of the Cape. but still staying unsettled. Over into the Middle East, we've got quite a strong shamal that could bring some poor visibility, some lifted dust, but on the whole, the weather story remains fine and dry. Some heavy showers across the Maldives into Sri Lanka. We have seen weather warnings here, and it still remains cold through the interior of northern India, both by day and by night in one or two spots. Staying cold as well across China, the Korean Peninsula, and also into Japan, but some of that cold air sinking as far south as southern China, moderating a little in Hong Kong. We saw mid-teens through Monday and Tuesday, and some pretty intense rainfall still across parts of Thailand and Malaysia. Now, over into Australia, it's a quiet story for many. A few showers moving out of Western Australia, keeping a close eye on the potential maybe for the first cyclone of the season to develop to the north. New Zealand, on the other hand, stays quite wet and windy.